you want to ask the name, very important. Yeah. What's your name? Uh, your age. Yeah, we got the age. What else? Do you have insurance coverage? Do you have insurance? Are you a smoker, non-smoker, right? Health. Enough? Enough information? Yes? Or you want more? This is enough information. Let's start with this, okay? And then if we need more, we'll add on. All right, so let's start with this. Now, question number 1. Your name is Jim, John, Jose. It doesn't matter. You're still going to die, correct or not? Why do you care? Your age is 20, 40, or 60. You're still going to die. You have a dream. You don't have a dream. You will still die. Your occupation is doctor, lawyer, engineer. You will still die. You have high income. You have low income. You will still die. 100% of married men don't know where their wives spend money. Why do you ask them, what are your expenses? They don't know. You have a worry, you don't have a worry, you will still die. You want to educate your children, you don't want to educate your children, you will still die. You have savings, you don't have savings, you will still die. You have assets, you don't have assets, you will still die. You have a family, you don't have a family, you will still die. Why do you do this? To find the protection gap, to find the insurance gap. The gap is constant. Everyone will die. You see, when I started in this business, I was taught something called fear-based selling. Sell the fear that you will die, the fear that you will fall sick, the fear that you will not have money when you retire, the fear that when your kids go to university, you will not have money, you should save. We were taught to sell fear. So was I. And that's when I realized something. Fear can help you sell fast, but happiness allows you to sell big. I'm going to repeat this. Fear helps you sell fast. Happiness allows you to sell big. Think about it. We always buy a house bigger than we can afford, correct or not? We always buy a car bigger than we can afford, correct or not? Why? Because it makes us happy. But when we are scared, we always want the cheapest solution to the problem. When we get scared, we always want the cheapest solution to the problem. Something that will remove my fear now. And I want you all to think about this. Imagine there is a snake in front of you. Imagine there is a snake in front of you. And you're scared of a snake. Not as a pet, but you're scared of the snake. There are 3 things that happen. Number 1, you get paralyzed with fear. You cannot move. The second thing that could happen is you run away. The third thing you could do is fight with the snake. Correct? Those are the only 3 things you can do. That's exactly what happens when you meet with your client. They're either fighting with you, or they are paralyzed and cannot make a decision, so they say, I will think about it, or they just run away. They ignore you. Because that is fear-based selling. So I had to learn how to change from fear-based selling to happiness-based selling. What if I made you happy? I want all of you all to think about this. Who is looking forward to dying? Nobody, correct? Why do you talk about it? Is anyone looking forward to falling sick? No. Is anyone looking forward to becoming old? No. How many of you are excited about retiring at 65? Nobody. You want to retire at 25. You ask a youngster, when do you want to retire? They will say 30. You ask someone who's 30, when do you want to retire? They will say 35. You ask someone 35, when do you want to retire? They'll say 40. Everyone wants to retire every 5 years. That's what they want. And what do we sell them? We sell them the dream that they can retire after working for 40 years at the age of 60. At the age of 60, you're not retired, you're just tired. And I want you all to think about this. I want you all to rethink financial planning today. You see, when I sit down with my clients, I don't talk about fear anymore. I talk about happiness. When I sit down with business owners, I sit down with a lot of business owners. I work with a lot of people who own businesses. And every time I sit down with them, every financial advisor tells the business owner, you need to create an emergency fund. In case the business doesn't work well, you need some money. In case your business goes down, you should have some money. Am I correct? That's what we were told. Create an emergency fund. Now, when you put money in the emergency fund, the client keeps thinking, I've never had any emergency in 20 years. Why should I put the money? I've never had an emergency. I don't know anyone who has any emergency. Why do I need to keep money in that fund? So they will always tell you, I will think about it. So instead of calling it an emergency fund, I call it the growth fund. Mr. Client, you have a business, and I truly believe this business will be very successful. I believe in you. But you need to start putting money aside for growth. When you get a new opportunity, when you get a new idea, when you get that market, when you need money, you should have money on the side, which is called the growth fund, which will allow you to grow your business. Every single business owner truly believes that their business will grow, correct or not? So instead of talking about the emergency fund, I just call it the growth fund. And all of a sudden, they are willing to save money for growth, but not for emergencies. The purpose is exactly the same. The purpose is exactly the same. The only difference is my choice of words. So if there's one thing you take away from today's session, I want you to take away my choice of words. The way I change exactly what our products do into what they actually do. Because our clients don't understand insurance. You see, insurance as an industry, as a profession, is not understood. Most of our clients don't even know why they need insurance. And I want you all to think about this. I was working with a family a couple of months ago, and I sat down with this client, and he's like, Sanjay, I am so rich. I don't need insurance. Have you all heard that before? Yes? Okay. I am so rich. Why do I need insurance? Insurance was made for poor people, Sanjay. Insurance is made for poor people. That's what I was told. And that was the most common objection that I get. Sanjay, I'm so rich, I don't need insurance. I had one client who actually told me, Sanjay, when I fall sick, I can just buy the hospital. I'm so rich, I can just buy the hospital. I'm not worried about my treatment. And I said, Mr. Client, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. You are so rich, you can buy the hospital. But let me ask you a question. You are a very smart businessman. What is cheaper to buy, the hospital or insurance? What is cheaper? Why do you want to buy the hospital? You can just buy insurance. It's cheaper. You're a smart businessman. And I want you all to think about this. I have a lot of funny clients, by the way. My clients are amazing, right? Because they have a lot of money. And that is their biggest problem. They have a lot of money. But they don't believe insurance is the product where they should put that money. So if you give them a good reason to put money in insurance, they will. Today, we're going to change the way we think about insurance. I want you all today stop thinking like insurance advisors, and I want you all to start thinking like clients. All right, so we're going to write this down. All of you, take a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper, and I want you all to write this down. If you had the ability to leave any amount of money for your children, if you had the ability to leave any amount of money for your children, how much would that be? How much would that be? Just write it down. Don't tell me the answer. This is your personal choice. I want you to just write this down. Take a minute. I want you all to think about this. Just write down the number, the amount of money you want to truly leave for your children. Just write it down. How many of you don't want to leave any money for your children? How many of you don't want to leave any money for your children? Exactly. You see, not a single person in the room. So when your clients tell you, I don't want to leave money for my kids, what does that mean? They're all lying. You have heard that, right? I don't want to leave any money for my children. This is statistics. This is science. There's not a single person in this room who doesn't want to leave anything for their kids. What does that mean? Your clients are lying when they say, I don't want to leave any money for my children. The truth is, we all want to give our children an unfair advantage in the world. We all want to give our children an unfair advantage in the world. Think about it. If your children are not good with their studies, do you not send them for extra classes? Isn't that unfair? If your children are not good in sports, don't you send them for extra classes? We all give an unfair advantage to our children. Think about it. We all do. How many of you wish you were born retired? That's what I thought. You wish you were born retired. Why don't you plan your kids' retirement? You see, when I joined my school, when I went to university, they kept telling me, Sanjay, follow your passion. Sanjay, do what makes you happy. That's what they told me when I was at university. When I graduated from university, what did they say? Forget about your dreams, forget about your passion, go to work. That's what they said, correct or not? Because sometimes passion doesn't make money. True or not? So if you truly want your children to live a life where they feel all the passion in the world, make sure they are born retired. You see, I was born retired. My father planned my retirement when I was born. He told me this. He said, Sanjay, you don't need to work for money. You work because you want to work. You don't have to work. What changed in my mind? He gave me 4 rules. I'm going to share those 4 rules with you today. He gave me 4 rules when I joined this business. He said, rule number 1, don't work. I said, I don't understand that. He said, Sanjay, insurance as a profession is not work. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Don't treat this business like work. Treat this business like a lifestyle. You're protecting someone else's family. You're protecting someone else's future. You're protecting someone else's children. This is not a business. This is your lifestyle. That's your duty. Stop working. Rule number 1. Rule number 2. Every day, meet people you like. How many times has this happened to you? You get a call on your mobile phone, you look at the name and you're like, oh my God, do I need to pick up this call? If that happens to you, that's a client you don't want. That's a client you don't want to work with. You should love your clients. You should not have Monday blues. You should not wake up on a Monday and say, oh my God, I have to go to work. Why do we like the weekend? Why do we like Saturday, Sunday? We spend time with our friends. We spend time with people we like, correct? So why can't every day be Sunday? Why can't every day be Sunday? So that's rule number 2. Every day, spend time with people you like. That was rule number 2. Rule number 3. Give your best advice to anybody and everybody. Give your best advice to anybody and everybody. What is the worst thing that can happen in our business? We give advice to somebody and they don't buy insurance from you, correct? That's the worst thing that can happen? Correct or not? See? No. The worst thing that can happen actually is you give advice to somebody and they buy from someone else. That is the worst thing. If they don't buy, go to hell. But if they buy from someone else, it hurts. If they don't buy from us, they buy from someone else, it hurts, right? That's the truth, right? Now I want you all to think about this. All of us are not competition. We are colleagues. We are all on the same mission to protect families, to protect children, to protect the future. We are all on the same mission. If I give advice to somebody, they don't buy from me, they buy from one of you. Our business grows, correct or not? Maybe you will give advice to somebody and they might buy from me. That's okay. The business grows. So let's set a rule among us. Let's set a rule among us. We will never talk bad about each other. That needs to change. As a profession, we need to learn to respect each other. We need to learn to talk good about each other. The problem is, we talk bad about each other. So let's stop that. Let's stop that. You will never see that in the medical profession. You will never hear one doctor say bad about another doctor. You will never hear a lawyer talk about bad about another lawyer. You will never hear an engineer talk about another engineer bad. Why do we do it in our business? Just because we lose it to somebody else? Stop it. So rule number 3, give your best advice to anybody and everybody. Anybody you meet, give them your best advice. Anybody. So that's rule number 3. Rule number 4, don't care about the results. So I asked my dad, I was like, but Dad, I have a target. I have a target. I need to hit my target. That's the truth. He's like, Sanjay, sales depends on the quality of your advice. Sales is not your business. Advice is your business. If you give good advice, the sales will come. If you give your best advice, sales will come. Your job is not sales. Your job is giving good advice. So rule number 4, don't care about the results. These are the 4 rules with which I started in this business. And this has allowed me to grow my business. You see, when I started in this business, I was only 18 years old. And my first goal was to hit MDRT. Let me be very transparent. You see, I'm born in a family where everyone is a financial advisor. My grandfather was an insurance agent. My father is an insurance agent. I'm an insurance agent. 3rd generation. My grandfather's brother was an MDRT member. My father is an MDRT member. I'm an MDRT member. Because that was the first rule. Sanjay, qualify for MDRT. You see, MDRT is a benchmark. It tells you if you're going in the right direction. By the way, how many of you are MDRT members? Congratulations. You have hit the first benchmark in our business. It's the first one. Because after you hit your MDRT, there's one more. Court of the table. You have to do your court of the table. There's one more. That's your second benchmark. Your third benchmark is top of the table. You have to hit your top of the table. And that's how you know you're going in the right direction. MDRT allows us to know how we are progressing in this business. What are the resources I need? What is the mindset I need? What is the skills that I need to get to the next level? And once you hit top of the table, that's not the end. That is the start of your real journey. That is the start of your real journey. Because after top of the table, you will listen from all top advisors. You can do double top of the table, triple top of the table, quadruple top of the table. There is no limit. Who told you that top of the table is an annual target? Who told you that? Top of the table is a target. It's not an annual target. It could be a daily target. Every day, I want to do top of the table. Why not? I want you all to stop thinking small, and I want you all to start thinking big. You see, when I started in this business, I hit my top of the table at the age of 23. And I truly thought, I was one of the best. So I went to a top of the table meeting. And I met one advisor there, and he said, Sanjay, well done. You've done so well. Congratulations. But there's still one more level. And I said, I thought I already hit everything. He said, Sanjay, there are people who are doing double top of the table. What's stopping you? And I said, I just died doing one top of the table. How do you do double? I just died. I literally killed myself to get my top of the table, and you're telling me to do double? What's wrong with you? He said, Sanjay, there are advisors who are doing it. Why not you? So that became my next challenge. By the age of 25, I did my double top of the table. And then I met another advisor, and he said, well done. there is one more level. Why don't you try doing 6 top of the table? And I said, listen, it's enough. You can stop joking. It doesn't exist. And he said, no, Sanjay, there are people doing it. Not you, but there are people doing it. Why not you? And I said, how? You see, I didn't even believe that that can be possible. I didn't even believe it. It took me many years to realize it is possible. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing that you change today about your mindset, I want you to change the fact that your dream can be bigger. Your dream can be bigger. And if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. If your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. That became the mantra of how I do my business. Every day I wake up, I have a schedule. Every day. I want you all to think about this. How many of you feel that your clients don't feel urgency to buy insurance? All of us. Let me ask all of you this question, okay? If your client doesn't buy today, they buy after 1 year, what will happen? Nothing. The premium will go up, correct? If the premium goes up, your commission goes up. So why are you in a hurry? Even better. The medical condition can change, so the premium will increase. Even better. Why are you in a hurry? I'll tell you why you're in a hurry. I'll tell you. Because if this one client doesn't buy this month, no commission. You see, our biggest problem is we don't have enough activity. We don't meet enough people. That is the problem. The problem is not that if they don't buy. Actually, if they don't buy, even better. Next year, guaranteed the premium will increase. Guaranteed. Guaranteed our commission will be higher. Why are you in a hurry? Is it your family? No. Is it your children? No. Is it your future? No. Why are you in a hurry? Imagine you go to the doctor and the doctor writes a medicine. And you tell the doctor, no, I'm not going to take the medicine. What will the doctor say? Get out. Next. Correct or not? Exactly. Our job is to write the medicine. If your clients don't want to take it, what should you do? Next. It's as simple as that. Why? The problem is, you don't have a next. So you keep talking to the same guy. Take it, please. Please take it. Please. You don't have a next. That's the problem. Correct or not? That is the problem. So if there's one thing that you change today, I want you to learn to fill up your diary. I want you to learn to meet so many people that you don't have time. Now, the problem is you also have very long meetings, correct? What is the average time that you spend with a client? 1 hour? How many of you spend 1 hour? 1 hour? Yeah, okay. Any 2 hours? 2 hours? 2 hours? Any 3 hours? There's a 3 hours, yeah, okay. Any half a day? You see, I don't spend more than 30 minutes with a client. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I spend 30 minutes with a client. How many of you would like to learn how to spend 30 minutes with a client? Honestly. All right. Let me teach you the trick. It's a formula. Okay? All of you have a mobile phone? Yes? Can you please learn to set an alarm? After 30 minutes, the alarm will ring. You get up and say, Mr. Client, it was a pleasure meeting you. See you. Bye-bye. Leave. Simple way to end a conversation. Let the phone ring. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have another appointment. Leave. Even if you don't have another appointment, leave. The problem is you love to stay. That's the problem. Learn to leave. If you cannot convince someone to buy insurance in 30 minutes, you can never convince them. Now the problem is, Sanjay, I actually don't have a problem in meeting people, but I don't know how to start my conversation correctly. I want you all to think about this. How do we start our conversation? We start with, hi, how are you? How's the family? How's your business? How's the economy? Correct? That's how we start our conversation. Correct or not? Yes? Now I want you all to think about this. When you ask the question, how is the economy? If the economy is doing very well, what do they say? Sanjay, I want to invest money in my business. The economy is doing so well. I want to invest money in my business. They will not give you money, correct? If the economy is doing bad, what will they say? Sanjay, I don't have money. The economy is so bad. They will not give you money. So in both scenarios, they don't give you money, correct or not? Why do you ask that question? Why do you ask a question where you lose both sides? Think about it. How's the family? If the family is doing well, they don't need insurance. My family is my insurance. If the family is bad, I don't want to buy insurance. They can go to hell. True or not? Why do you ask that question? I'll tell you a very funny story. You see, when I started in this business, I always was told, if you love your family, buy insurance. If you love your children, buy insurance. Correct? Yes? I was told that. So I sat down with this guy, right? He's a friend, he's a classmate of mine. And I was sitting with him and I said, bro, I call him bro, right? Brother, bro. If you love your wife, you should buy insurance. And he said, Sanjay, I hate my wife. I said, what? Why? And he said, Sanjay, I don't like her. I said, then why are you married to her? He's like, arranged marriage, I have to stay married. You see, in our culture, you have to stay married. Divorce is not an option. So I told him, does she hate you too? He said, yeah. We have agreed to hate each other. I said, then you're correct. I mean, if you die, why should we give her money? I agree. I agree. But you know what you need? You need a fantastic critical illness insurance. You need $1 million of critical illness. You know why? Because when you are in hospital, she will tell you, go to hell. At least I will take care of you. And buy a very big critical illness insurance for her. Because when she's in hospital, you can give her the money and tell her, go to hell. So if you love your family, you should buy insurance. But if you hate your family, you should buy even more insurance. Because nobody loves you. Think about it. Do you realize my conversations are a little different from what you were taught? Yes? Why don't I show you one of my presentations, right? So, when I joined this business, I was always taught how to do presentations, right? So I always start my conversation with presentations. So I'm going to show you my father's presentation. My father's been in this business for 39 years. In 39 years, he's used only one presentation. He has never changed his presentation. If you meet him even today, he will show you exactly the same presentation after 39 years. All right? And the best thing is, it's a 3-minute presentation. After the presentation, if you buy, great. If you don't buy, he's really like a doctor. Get out, next. Till today, 39 years. If you can see it, great. If you can't see it, don't worry. Just listen carefully. Everyone in the world falls in 4 categories: luxury, comfortable, poor, and charity. Everyone falls in these 4 categories: luxury, comfortable, poor, and charity. Now let's assume there is a family which is comfortable. The reason this family is comfortable is because we call this a man at work or a woman at work. Somebody is working to make sure this family is comfortable. In case the man at work is removed, right? This family will immediately fall down to charity. Charity from friends, charity from family members. So to protect this family from falling down, I have to immediately put a pump of money to hold the family. Because if there's no man at work, there has to be money at work. So the question is, how much money do you need over here? There's a formula. The formula is 10 times of annual income. 10 times of your annual income. If you have this money, keep it aside. If you don't have this money, I will create it for you right now. That's my job. That's it. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, sign here. That's it. How long did this presentation take? 3 minutes? Why do you spend 2 hours? Guys, let's create some formulas for our business. Okay? Let's create some formulas for our business. How much life insurance should a person buy? What's the formula? How much life insurance should a person buy? Okay. Easier question. How much water should you drink every day? 2 liters? Who told you that? Everyone knows. Correct? Everyone knows. So, how much life insurance should you buy? 10 times of your annual income. Who told you that? Everyone knows. Not Sanjay. Everyone knows. How much income protection should you buy? Income protection is like disability or critical illness. How much income protection should you buy? What's the formula? 5 times of your annual income. Who told you that? Everyone knows. How much money should you save for your retirement? What's the formula? How much money should you save for retirement? Now I know some of you will remove your financial calculator. And you will say, today, your income is $10,000. In the future, 30 years from now, when you retire, your income will increase with inflation to $30,000. You need half of that. You need $15,000 for the rest of your life. So, if I do calculation, you need to save all your money to achieve that target. And what does your client say? Forget it. I don't want to retire. That's the problem. So why don't I give you the formula? The formula for retirement is 20% of whatever you earn. That's the formula. How many of you have children? Okay, very good. You want to save money for their education? What's the formula? No. When we started in this business, when I started to talk about education, the first question they ask is, where do you think your children will study? Will they study in Argentina? Will they study in America? Then the next question is, what will they study? Will they study medicine? Will they study engineering? Then the next question is, let's talk about inflation. In the future, education will be more expensive, correct? Do you realize how much you scare your clients? Do you realize it? When you calculate the number, I had one client, I did this. I calculated the number and I said, after 15 years, when your child is ready to go to university, you need like $500,000. He said, okay, then we'll not send him to university. I don't have the money, forget it. He doesn't need to study. Or he'll figure it out himself. The problem is we scare our clients so much. Why don't I give you the formula? Would you like the formula? There's a simple formula for education planning. It's 5% of whatever you earn. That's the formula. Guys, I've done my PhD in insurance. And when I was doing my PhD, I was coming up with these formulas to find out what is the correct formula for financial planning. That's the formula. How many of you do education planning for your clients' families? How many of you do that? Education planning for the children? Okay. Would you like to learn my presentation? See? Okay. It's a 2-minute presentation. Mr. Client, today your child is born. At the age of 18, your child will go to university. Now you have two options, option A and option B. Option A, you save money and you earn interest. You earn interest. Option B, when your child is 18, you borrow money and then you pay interest. Which one would you choose? Those are your only two options. Which one would you choose? A, congratulations. Okay, sign here. If they say B, what should you say? Next. Do you see the problem, guys? You spend too much time for something that takes me 2 minutes. How long did this conversation take? 2 minutes? Right? Why do you take 30 minutes to say this? Why? Because you're talking about the economy. You're talking about the family. You're talking about everything that doesn't matter. Get straight to the point. If there's one thing you change today, is change the way you start your conversations. Do a small and a quick presentation. Would you like to learn one more presentation? Yes? Okay, I'll give you one of my favorite presentations. I love this presentation. This is one of my favorite presentations. And this is how I start the presentation. So I'm going to give you exactly from start to finish, okay? All right, so not 20 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? Yes? All right. This is how I start my presentation. Mr. Client, you know, when I was coming to meet you, I saw this tree. And I realized this tree is so strong and big, just like you. Just like you. Very strong and big. But that's when I realized the tree is strong because the roots of the tree are strong. If I cut the tree, but the roots are there, the tree will grow back. But if I cut the roots, the tallest trees will fall down. And that's when I realized these trees are assets. And we keep looking at our assets and we feel good. But the real root is income. Is income, not assets. If your asset value gets destroyed, but you have good income, the assets will grow back. But if your income stops, the biggest assets will fall down. Assets without an income are a liability. Assets without an income are a liability. So the only true asset in the world is your income. And you are strong today because of your income. I don't need to protect the trees, I need to protect the roots. That's my job. And there's a simple formula to protect the roots. What's the formula? 10 times of annual income. That's it. That's the formula. Do you have any questions? No? Sign here? Did I even use pen and paper? Now, you will get an objection after this. You will. The most common objection, I need to ask my wife. Yes or no? I need to ask my wife. They will never ask the wife about anything else, but about insurance, I have to ask my wife. Mr. Client, I'm so glad that you want your wife to be involved in this decision. I'm so glad. But let me ask you a question. Every woman in the world that I have met has never told me, don't protect the family, don't protect our children, don't protect my husband. Instead, she will always tell you to buy more. She won't ask you to buy less. She will ask you to buy more. Can I give you an opinion as a husband? Don't ask her. She will only ask you to buy more, not less. Why don't you do one thing? You buy what I'm telling you to buy, give it to her as a gift, as a surprise. Darling, I love you. I bought insurance to protect you. Darling, I love the children. I bought insurance to protect the children. Because if you ask her, I promise you she will tell you to buy more, not less. And right now, you don't have the budget to buy more. Correct or not? Every single client that I meet will give me a weird objection. I think the most funniest objection, and this is the last objection that I will give you, but this was the biggest objection that I got. Sanjay, God is my insurance. How many of you heard that? God is my insurance? I know. How do I compete with God? And I told my client, I was like, Mr. Client, you are absolutely correct. God is our insurance. You are absolutely correct. God is our insurance. But let me tell you a story. My grandfather told me this story. There was a beautiful village. In that village, there was a beautiful temple. In that temple, every day the priest would pray. And all the villagers would come to the temple to pray with the priest. Every day. One day, the villagers came running. And they said, priest, we need to leave now. So the priest said, why? They said, the flood is coming. We need to leave now. The priest said, no, this is the house of God. Nothing will happen to me. The flood came. Water entered inside the temple. The priest went to the first floor. The rescue team came in boats. Priest, come with us, you will die. No, this is the house of God. Nothing will happen to me. Now the full temple was underwater. The priest was holding the flag. The Air Force came in helicopters. Priest, come with us, you will die. No, this is the house of God. Nothing will happen to me. And the priest died. The priest goes to heaven, comes in front of God. God says, priest, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Till your last breath, you did not lose faith in me. Till your last breath, you kept talking about me. Welcome to heaven. But the priest was very upset. He said, God, thank you. But I'm very upset. So God said, why? What happened? He said, God, why did you make me a liar in front of all your followers? I kept telling all your followers, this is the house of God, nothing will happen to me. Why did you allow me to die in your house, God? So God looks at the priest and he says, priest, no one knows me better than you. No one. Don't you know, I never do anything myself. I will always send a messenger. I came to you 3 times. I came to you 3 times. You did not listen to me. And for this, you go to hell. Mr. Client, I am sure I'm not the first insurance agent in your life. But I might be the last. You see, God does not do anything himself. He will send a messenger. I am a messenger of God. Ladies and gentlemen, each one of you is doing God's work. You're protecting a family which is not yours. You're protecting children which are not yours. You're protecting the future which is not yours. You're truly doing God's work. Stop thinking and start doing. Stop thinking and start doing. Make this the most beautiful career in the world. And that can only happen with one thing: giving your best advice. Remember the 4 rules. Don't work. Spend time with people you love. Give your advice to anybody and everybody. And don't care about the results. Best of luck. Let's make 2022 our best year ever.
¿Les gustó? ¿Quiero más? Claro que sí, queremos más. Nos gustaría querer más, pero ya necesitamos ir terminando. Voy a pedir a las personas que me acompañaron en la gestación de este evento, que deseo les haya gustado y que se lleven muchas ideas, una idea, dos, todas las que puedan. Voy a pedir que suban acá conmigo porque vamos a tener un momento más de reconocimientos. No está Regina, estaba buscando a Regina. Bien, Jorge, Vanina. Bien, por favor, si pueden subir. Vamos. Ok, everyone. Queremos entregarle a nuestros speakers y visitantes un pequeño recuerdo de su paso por este MDR Day Argentina 2022, que ojalá algún día se repita y lo más pronto posible. Así que también vamos a ir llamándolos. Disculpen porque lo tengo que mirar. ¿Me falta alguien acá? Ah, Martín. Martín y César. Ok, muy bien. Voy a pedir a Dorín, por favor, que suba para que le demos recuerdo de su paso por este día. A los chicos. Vamos a pedirle a Silvio, que no está, así que alguien que reciba el nombre de Silvio. ¿Ya se lo diste? Perfecto. Muy bien. Panos, si puedes subir a recibir el recuerdo. Llamamos ahora a Pablo. Pablo Vitti, ¿estás acá todavía? ¿Por dónde andas, Pablo? Pablo, ¿estás por ahí? ¿No está? Bueno, Sanjay, ¿dónde está Sanjay? Está sacándose el... Ok. Y... Okay. Bien. Dijimos durante toda esta jornada lo importante que es ser miembro de MDRT y queremos darles un reconocimiento especial a los únicos 3 miembros de Argentina que son miembros vitalicios. Así que Fernando y Cayo, por favor, si pueden subir a entregarles. Y voy a pedirle al señor Claudio Herrer que suba, Mónica Castiglione y Dorín Israelian, que son los 3 miembros argentinos que son miembros vitalicios. Bueno, antes de sacarnos las últimas fotos, quisiera decirles en nombre del Comité de Comunicaciones de MDRT en Argentina y en nombre de MDRT, porque yo soy MDRT, muchísimas gracias por estar acá con nosotros, por acompañarnos, que espero que hayan disfrutado. Gracias a todos los que vinieron del interior del país, sé el esfuerzo que han realizado y me encantaría que nos escriban para contarnos qué se han llevado hoy, qué ha cambiado hoy o qué va a cambiar para ustedes en la práctica, en el día a día, qué es lo que va a cambiar, qué es lo que nos va a hacer mejores profesionales y mejores personas a partir de mañana. Quiero pensar que esto va a ser un antes y un después para muchas personas. Así que quiero agradecerles de nuevo a nuestros sponsors, a nuestros speakers y a cada uno de ustedes, y especialmente a mi comité de comunicaciones, que francamente hicieron un trabajo maravilloso. Sin embargo, hay alguien a quien necesito pedirle que suba, porque ha hecho cosas realmente imposibles de creer. No le gusta mucho esto, pero quiero que Victoria suba al escenario. Juan Pablo Arauz y Nicolás Solazábal, por favor, ¿están por aquí? Iván. No importa, es Iván. Iván. Ya como que el día se me hizo largo. Muy bien.
Algo que la señora no sabe, la señora acá parada. Esto fue, creo que una jornada maravillosa para todos, espero que así lo hayan sentido, y todo esto tiene una locomotora imparable que hizo que todo esto funcionara, así que todo el comité que estamos acá, que le hemos ayudado, queremos agradecerle y darle las gracias, señora Marisa.
¿Qué les parece si nos despedimos hasta el próximo MDRT Day 2023 Argentina? ¿Les parece bien? Y un aplauso para ustedes. Por favor, se ponen de pie y se aplauden a ustedes mismos. Se lo merecen. Nos faltó agradecer a los sponsors, ¿sí? Muchas gracias a los sponsors. Bien, gracias.